Hey, y'all doing? Canto 28, Canto 28. The story, from the bridge over the ninth bough to the poets look down upon the souls of discord, who are continually smitten asunder by a demon with a sword. Dante is addressed by Mahomet and Pierre da Medicina, who send messages of warning to people on earth. He sees Curio and Mosca, and finally Bertrand de Born, who, though with words unshackled from the rhymes, could yet tell full the tale of wounds and blood, now shown me, let him try 10,000 times. Did that go out, you son of a... Just a stub. It's falling apart. I bought this in 2006. Truly all tongues would fail, for neither could the mind avail, nor any speech be found, for things not be named nor understood, if in one single place were gathered round all those whose lifeblood in the days of yore made outcry from Apulia's fateful ground, victims of Trojan frays and that long war, whose spoil was heaped so high with rings of gold, as Livy tells, who heirs not those that bore. The hammering brunt of battle being bold against Robert Guiscard, to make stand on stand, and they whose bones shall whiten in the mould of Cheperon, where all the Apulian band turned traitors, and on Taliacosco's field, won by old Allard, weaponless and outmanned. If each should show his bleeding limbs unhealed, pierced, lopped, maimed, 'twere nothing whatever to that ghast sight in the ninth boughs revealed. No cask stove in bicant, or middle ever, so gaped as one I saw there, from the chin down to the fart hole, split as by a cleaver. That's what it says. I'm not bullshitting you. That is what it says. I don't know who translated this. I don't know if that was in the original Italian, but that's what it says. Mwah. His tripes hung by his heels, the pluck and spleen showed with the liver and the sordid sack that turns to dung the food it swallows in. I stood and stared. He saw me and stared back, then with his hand wrenched upon his own breast, crying, "See how I rend myself! What rack mangles Mahomet, weeping without rest? Ali goes before me, his whole face slit by one great stroke upwards from chin to crest. All those whom thou beholdest in the pit were sowers of scandal, sowers of schism abroad, while they yet lived, therefore now they go split. Back yonder stands a fiend by whom we've scored, thus cruelly over and over again. He puts us to the edge of the sharp sword. As we crawl through our bitter round of pain, for ere we come before him to be bruised anew, the gashed flesh reunites its grain. But who art thou that dalliest there bemused upon the rock spur, doubtless to delay, going thy puns, pangs, self-judged and self-accused, nor dead as yet, nor brought here as prey to torment by his guilt, my master said, but to gain full experience of the way he comes, wherefore behooves him to be led, and this is true as that I speak to thee, gyre after gyre through hell by me who am dead. And hearing him stock still to look on me, souls by the hundred stood in the valley of stone, and in amaze forgot their agony, Well, go then, thou that shalt behold the sun, be like ere long let fra Dolcino know, unless he is in haste to follow me down. He must well arm himself against the snow. With victuals let the Novarese starve him out, who else might find him hard to overthrow. Thus unto me Mahomet with one foot lifted to leave us. Having said, he straight stretched it to earth and went his dreary route. Then one with gullet pierced and nose shorn flat, off to the very eyebrows, and whose bare only a single ear upon its pate. Having remained with all the rest to stare, before the rest opened his puissant now, which outwardly ran crimson everywhere, and said, O thou whom guilt condemns not, thou whom I have seen up there in Italy, unless some likeness written in thy brow deceives me, if thou e'er return to see, one more the lovely plain that slopes between Vercelli and Macabo, then think of me. O Pier da Medicina, and those whose twain say Guido and Angiolello fannos best, that if our foresight here be not all vain, they'll be flung overboard and drown in the unblessed passage near La Cattolica by the embargo laid on their lives at a false lord's behest. Neptune ne'er saw so foul a crime, such cargo of wickedness twixt Cyprus and Majorca ne'er passed, no pirate crew, no men of Argo could show the like. That one-eyed mischief worker whose land there's one, here with me in this vale, wishes he'd never seen that smooth-tongued talker, shall lure them to parley, and when they sail, deal so with them that they shall have no need of vow or prayer against Focara's gale. Then I to him say, tell me, so may I speed thy message up to the world, as thou dost seek. Who's he whose eyes brought him that bitter need? At once he laid his hands upon the cheek of a fellow shade, and pulled his jaws apart, saying, look, there is he cannot speak. This outcast quenched the doubt in Caesar's heart. To men prepared, delays are dangerous. Thus he gave sign for civil strife to start. Oh, how deject to me, how dolorous seemed Curio, with his tongue hacked from his throat, he of that speech was so adventurous, and one that had both hands cut off up smote the bloody stumps through the thick air and black, sprinkling his face with many a filthy clot, and cried, think too on Mosca, Mosca, alack, alack, who said what's done is ended, and thereby for Tuscany sowed seed of ruin and wrack, and death to all thy kindred added I, whereat heaping despair upon despair he fled like one made mad with misery. But I remained to watch the throng, and there I saw a thing I hesitate to tell, without more proof indeed I should not dare, did not a blameless conscience stead me well, that trusty squire that harnesses a man in his own virtue like a coat of mail. Truly I saw, it seems to me I can see still, I saw a headless trunk that sped, running towards me as the others ran, and by the hair it held a severed head, swung as one swings a lantern in its hand, and that caught sight of us. Ay, me, it said, itself was its own lamp, you understand, and two in one, and one in two it was, but how he only knows who thus ordained. And when it reached our bridge, I saw it toss arm up, and head together with design to bring the words it uttered near to us, which were, O breathing soul, brought here to win sight of the dead. Behold this grievous thing. See if there be any sorrows like to mine, and know, if news of me thou seek to bring, yonder Bertrand de Born I am, whose fell counsel, warping the mind of the young king, like Absalom with David, made rebel son against his father, father against son, deadly as the malice of Achitophel, because I sundered those that should be one. I'm doomed, woe worth the day, to bear my brain cleft from the trunk whence all its life should run. Thus is my measure measured to me again and again and again. Happy Day of the Dead, everybody. Feliz Dia de Muertos. Adios. Besos, muchos besos. Pepe, te amo. Te ama, Pepe. Ah, yeah, we love you. We're all Pepe. We're all Pepe now. Turn off, computer.